And it's not just the DP that wasn't priority. IO is in the pool as well, and NGX with the Storm Spirit can easily pick up the IO. As their 4 have the Storm IO combination on hand, they'd have to find an off lane that really maximizes the IO as well. You don't have the option for the Mars here, no option for Sand King either, so some of the bigger ones to tie in aren't there. But you can still shift things around for NGX that way. I mean, the IO Storm combination is just really strong. We've seen a lot of teams go back to it. Just always works out for the most part. RSG do have some flex with the Mars Shadow Demon that tends to be Xiaoyu's hero nowadays, though, but Exelern was known for his mid-Mars at some point, although matchup against Storm isn't the best. So this should just be the Xiaoyu offlane. As you mentioned, strong combination, Disruption to set up the Spear, lots of damage early on in the laning phase with the Shadow Poison stacking up, and lots of stacking you can pull off as well for your safe lane to start building up on. So just good foundation for RSG to get off with in their draft. NGX for their part, there is a bit of a risk when you open up with a Storm. They do have to ban out the AM, they ban out the Quap, they ban out the Ember, all of these heroes that Storm doesn't really like. Always have a bit of a giggle when AM is taken out for a Storm, though, because I know your feelings about that hero, Mike. It's not the best hero in the world, but again, in certain circumstances, it can feel really good. So they really do just want to ensure Alacrity has a good time here.
My question is now, John, now that the AM is banned out, are NGX.SEA forced to take something like Medusa? Right? Because now, as you know, if you wanted to just go down the Medusa route, which is something that in SEA still comes out a hell of a lot, you might just feel very safe doing so. We'll see who does end up taking it if it is left here by RSG. Apart from that, though, John, you've also got Tony that's still available here, and NGX.SEA, they just had a great success with Tiny, so it does get banned out by RSG. Do they take the Medusa? They will not. They'll go for the Dark Willow route. NGX.SEA have the option now to take it for themselves in these next 2 picks. Again, you've banned the AM already. That's one of the big counters towards the Medusa. Though again, like you kind of just said, John, it doesn't always counter Medusa. As, you know, most of the time, actually, when we see it, it doesn't do anything. But, you know, who am I to say, John? I'm, you know, only 100% right 100% of the time. NGX.SEA.
Oh man, Medusa could be a good pick. IO is still a good pick if they really want to go for IO Storm plus IO Medusa down line. It could be one way. I like that RSG go all in on this Mars combination. So they've got the Terrorize, the Fear to go into the arena. Lots of good AoE hold here. Not the most solid hold for something like the Storm. I think that's my one concern. NGX do have a good time in getting the Storm zip around. As long as you don't get caught by Disruption, you should be free to do what you want here for Alacrity. So you're kind of still setting up for a good Storm game. He does have to catch that backline. He does have to prevent that Disruption to be a factor. And at least now you have the Pangolier to back you up. So that is looking like our Mizu hero now on the offlane. Rolls up bound will feel really nice in terms of helping your Storm out, especially once you have the blink up. So you have that mobility playing up here for NGX to take care of all those saves from the Shadow Demon. It can still be annoying playing against Shadow Demon, you know, especially if you do get the farm up. Ag Shard Ags is still really, really scary for a lot of heroes, and that should still enable a lot of RSG's lineup. So, keen to see how NGX closes out. It looks like they will probably just pick their support here, possibly their pause 4 for Jokam. RSG, and there's something still out here left field that they could run against the Storm. They could still go mid Batrider, and I remember when we used to watch a lot of NGX in Pro Series, Mike. Alacrity just never enjoys. He doesn't enjoy that matchup. Like, it was his Void Spirit mainly. He used to be really into Void Spirit, and every single time we'd see enemy teams always pick Batrider mid. Against the Storm, it's still pretty good. Batrider mid's still pretty darn good against the Storm. You can get punished by level 3, level 4. Double Overload as once more is still pretty good. But Batrider can also punish a Storm diving too deep, especially before that zip is up. So that's one way to go. NGX will go for the PA here for In Your Dream more than likely. So maybe shifting gears a bit. Perhaps shifting Jokam onto the Pango could be one way. You mentioned it though, RSG will take the Dusa. And it looks like a really comfy Dusa game. Like, PA against Dusa is not the greatest time. You can blink in. So at least you always have the blink strike to gap close. But for the Dusa, she just builds up durability. You will need a source of break, or at least an MKB on Dusa to feel good. So that could cause some issues for RSG in the first 15 to 20, maybe 25 minutes in the Dusa versus PA matchup. But past that point, it does feel like the Dusa tends to have a really good time just from how durable she is in comparison. Like, unless you go something funky here, like Pangolier can always build Diffusal, I suppose, which is one way. But even then, like, it can be hard to just focus all in on Dusa for the Pango. Like, you still want to get those rolls off.
It's a very tough time now, I think. Like, PA into Dusa is just not going to be fun. It might be okay because you have that natural evasion, and the reason why they go the PA route, obviously against the Mars and Dark Willow, it's actually quite effective. I think we saw it yesterday from Team Spirit during our EEU cast. They did also go down the PA route against Mars, and that worked out. Mind you, Team Spirit is a TI-10 winner, Jonathan. So, you know, they kind of know what they're doing. I don't know about this PA against Dusa. It just never feels good. Like, you get to a point where you're critting so hard that you can get through the mana pool, but the Stone Gaze just hurts so much when you're PA. Let's see how it works out, though. Final pickup here. Maybe an offlane to be picked up, maybe another support here for NGX.SEA. It's quite open for them. Very versatile style of draft. Maybe a bit of control would be nice here for NGX.SEA. Maybe even a bit of a save against that Medusa. They're going to go down the Tusk route, which I don't mind. You're kind of just amping up the damage now against that Medusa. And hell, I wouldn't even mind if Mizu went for the Pos 3 Tusk. I think the kick away could be very effective here against Medusa. Like, she pops Stone Gaze, you kick her away, you don't care.
Yep. It's everything that you just pointed out. The save, the damage, the repositional ability in that kick. It's a really great way for NGX to close out the draft. And we have seen Mizu play that offlane Tusk a couple of times. So they could still go just for that Jokam Pangolier if they wanted to, although Jokam does play mean Tusk. So I don't mind either way. I think you should still be able to find that build up here. RSG will close out with a DK. So that should be our Excellent hero on the mid. And just a steady foundational mid, not going to get bullied out by the Storm too much. Melee matchup against Storm. Same caveats there. Level 3 is better for Storm. But DK can always just regen true. Mind you, the magic damage does make short work of your Dragon's Blood. So the armor's not going to be doing as much. It's still DK mid, Mike. Yeah, we've seen DK mid against Storm. You just kind of farm and you don't really care.
You certainly don't, John. And I actually appreciate the DK mid as well, because you're going to be able to kind of contest the objectives here. Like, when you're playing a Medusa draft, the one thing you don't want is to lose that mid tier 1 tower, because that does open up the map for the enemy team. With the DK, it feels like not only they're going to be able to just snowball and fight, but naturally you're going to be able to take the enemy mid-tier 1 tower, which then opens up the map for your team. In which case, you know, you might be able to take the enemy triangle, or just the enemy jungle in general. It's a very nice pickup here from RSG, and that's kind of like you already said as well. I mean, DK versus Storm, you're probably not going to die as the DK. It's just going to be an even trading lane, and well, Dragon Knight is very frustrating to have to try and CS against, that's for sure. John, give me the overall decision, though. Game number 1 between NGX.SEA and RSG. Who has the better draft?
It's a tough one to say. I'd lean towards RSG a little bit more. I like their team fight a lot more. Their combinations with the arena, their setup for the spear, their combination of Mars and Medusa. The circles are looking better there, Mike. So I like RSG, where they're going with it. I think NGX has a way to play, but we've got to see them execute as a team. Sort of like what we saw in the second game in their first series. They have to play together a lot more. And RSG is just a tougher team to execute against compared to AG.
Yeah, I certainly agree. I mean, we'll see how it goes. This is a real test for NGX.SEA now. Again, it's a bit of a sneak peek into what Div 1's going to look like in tour number 3 between NGX.SEA and RSG at the very least. See how it does work out. Again, I kind of side with you on the draft issue as well, John. I do kind of lean towards RSG, but I certainly agree that it could go anyway. It feels heavily reliant on this Tusk having a good game, though. Like, I do think Jokam's going to have to be on his absolute best performance to make sure that he shuts down this Medusa. Whether it be kicking her away, whether it be the snowball saves, he just needs to be there every single time.
That takes a while for the Tusk to really get that comfy position. You know, that really requires a blink to get those clutch saves off of the snowball. And that's a lot of farm from the offlane. But again, Jokam tends to have a good time. You can see how friendly they all are. Excellent, you know, one of the few other Singaporean players. Mizu says, "Good luck, have fun." Excellent's like, "No." And he's just like, "Why? Why do you do this? I'm just, you know, trying to have everyone have a good time. Well, why do you have to say no?"
Well, geez, sounds like you've taken it personally. You don't have to take it personally, John. Someone did that to you, did they?
No, I've never had that. I'm a very positive person in my pubs, Mike. I just mute myself
get outta
if I get
here.
upset.
Get out of here.
I mute myself. I don't tell my team. I don't tell my team I'm
negative
mad.
person I've ever played with. You are the most negative person.
You know.
I remember I've laid with you so many times, and half the time I'm too scared to ask you for anything because you go quiet on me, John. I'm like, John, can you pull the launch cap? And you just go silent, and I can feel it gets tense in the air. The atmosphere gets a little bit thicker.
What do you mean, Mike? What do you mean? I because in those lanes, I remember a time where you were gyrocopter and you were complaining about the CS. I'm like, oh shit, I can't help with that. we are a terrible laning combo, Mike. I think is what we've learned over the years. We just drag each other down like an actual married couple.
One day we'll pub again, John. One day. RSG.
Get the antidepressants out.
Indeed, RSG, Roger. He's going to be on the front lines here. Mizu actually did get scouted. They have the high ground vision. Instead, though, Xiao Yu's the one in trouble. Tag team activated Xiao Yu, trying to back off for JoeCam. He's in the chase, but he may have gone too far. The fight continues. Classic SEA style level 1 team fight in the first blood. Is going to go the way of RSG. The Medusa picks it up. JoeCam, he'll take MKS down, but they're going to lose JoeCam in response. So first blood gold going to go the way of the Medusa. That is the absolute worst case scenario for NGX.SEA.
Yeah, not what you like to see there. NGX, they had a good position. They were on the high ground. They managed to break the smoke. They scouted out, but they forced the issue and they don't manage to find the kills fast enough. The fact that they didn't take Xiao Yu out was a big one.
They might have another here. Boom Boy going to try to run, but I think they've got the damage. No, not quite. Oh, they do. XE Learn, he barely had the vision of the tree line. The fog did not kick in time. That's unfortunate. XE Learn now finding a kill for himself, and I said the Medusa getting first blood was the worst case scenario, John. But now you have that plus a DK kill to get started.
And that's just massive. RSG setting themselves up for great success, and we talked about that mid already, Mike. You give XE Learn a start like that, he's just going to have that ramp into the Bracer, ramp into the Soul Ring. He's not going to be contestable. Alacrity can still find farm, but level 1, level 2 don't feel great. Level 3 is when you can be threatening, but every single time you come up, the DK is more than willing to just Dragon Tail you and get a couple of hits off, and you can't underestimate that damage. It is pretty significant from that DK, and Alacrity is still out of regen. He used this last Tango. He's just saving up for the bottle until that point. The DK is actually a slight threat in this lane.
It certainly is. We should have a look at the other lanes while we have a chance as well, John. Of course, top lane, JoeCam against Roger, and you're going to have the cause of Mizu against MKS, who's already off to a great start on this Medusa. How does this top lane go, John? Like, do you feel like they can actually deal with the MKS Dusa here, or should it just be a free kind of lane here from MKS?
It feels pretty free for the Dusa. I think Roger has lots of ways of blocking off that aggression. The disruption can just save you every single time. Dusa can play with at range, play with a Mystic Snake, not care in the world. And the issue here for NGX is that, yeah, you've got Tusk. It is a dual melee matchup. You really want to have something ranged for the most part, or something that can really apply a lot of damage, a lot of hits in a short time. When you have that tag team up, Pangolier can try to run up. You shield crash, but again, disruption just cuts off that avenue and just makes it tough to really apply pressure. So we'll see how much more Mizu can do. JoeCam does a good job of sniping Courier and just get the pull off, trying to find that EXP he needs. Tusk is a fairly greedy support, but beyond that, MKS is still finding really good CS here.
Absolutely. Of course, down a bot lane. Xiao Bonbon, Xiao Yu against Boom Boy and In Your Dream. And speaking of Boom Boy, he's in a bit of trouble. The stun will not connect though. In fact, In Your Dream, he's going to go for the chase on Xiao Yu, who does go for a run, but In Your Dream, he should have enough damage and control, and eventually he will secure the kill. Boom Boy salves himself up, barely survives. Xiao Bonbon, he'll cancel, but now the siphons come out. Boom Boy, can you actually heal up? In goes In Your Dream again. Xiao Bonbon, he's gone too far. He'll get the kill, but it may be another kill to go the way of In Your Dream. That is not what you want to see if you're RSG.
No, they're overcommitting. It is still a DP, despite the fact that they were forced to go level 1 Crypt Swarm. Level 2 is up, level 3 is going to come out soon. And that gives the full Orb of Corrosion for IYD. So he's got even more slow, a great amount of HP coming through from that value item, and the aggression can pile on now for the side of NGX if they see that opportunity. I mean, the combination of Mars Dark Willow is strong. We've seen some plays before where you kind of just God's Rebuke into the Bramble Maze, or Spear into the Bramble Maze. It is a really good way of setting up the stuns. Jumping a PA is just a different issue. It's like you always have the Blink Strike away. And again, it's a DP5.
MKS, he's in trouble. Roger will be there. In fact, now Mizu may get turned on. Disruption will be there. Mizu, he does have stick charges. He should be fine. In fact, Snowball in the backside. They got greedy, and MKS, he's going to get punished for it. Roger, he's not going to be out either. NGX.SEA, they are making both side lanes work. Oh, and it could have been brilliant. Mizu, he'll go for the deny on the tier 1 tower, but I suppose in the end they should have just saved the disruption, just in case JoeCam snowballed in like that.
Yeah, just going a bit too far, and the punishment is good. It's been a really good lane for MKS. Giving those kills away kind of equalizes it for Mizu, despite, again, a bit slower start than CS. You are seeing rotations come through. They are making it hard for Alacrity to find runes, but this is still a Storm that can look for those kills.
Oh, JoeCam's doing a great job. These rotations, just very, very effective here as Alacrity does pick up his own kill now in the Storm. He was having a decent time against the DK, but now with an extra kill on top, he'll be very happy as that Storm Spirit. And I guess you did say, John, JoeCam's a very good Tusk player. We're already seeing the brilliance right now.
He just knows when to be active, knows when to turn up and help his team out. And it has been a slightly slower lane for Alacrity, but not by much. And the Storm can still find farm. The kill helps him snowball. Up top, still applying that pressure.
It's so much damage with the tag team. MKS, he's trying to juggle the mana shield, but even then, he's just copying way too much as Mizu. He can't go for the tier 1 tower dive yet, but they are certainly letting MKS know he is never safe.
Every single time, if your support leaves you alone on that Dusa, there is that opening coming through. They are trying to build up stacks here with Roger. Of course, with the Shadow Demon up, you want to secure that jungle farm, but not many built up at all. Like, Roger just hasn't had a room to really secure that build up, and that is a cause of concern. If we've seen PA versus Dusa before, sometimes a PA with a stronger start because of her aggression in lane can really start to build up into that quick battle fury, outfarm the Dusa, and just suddenly have a lot of presence and durability with that blur.
Mid lane, JoeCam, he's rotated again. Boomboy's going to be around, but Zhao Bonbon, he does scout them out before they can make the move in onto the Dragon Knight. And JoeCam, he never ends up going for the snowball. I suppose there's no real point as Zhao Bonbon, he could always just pop the Shadow Realm and be fine, because they won't bother. Very nice position there from the Dark Willow as now Shadow Realm will be popped. Alacrity, he's going to zip through, but he might die. Oh boy, Zhao Bonbon. He's unable to get the final hit off. Oh, Alacrity, that is a very risky play, but he makes it work.
He makes it work his way. Unfortunately, he doesn't manage to find a rune. Still getting that kill, again, offsetting that earlier movement out, just building up in the Storm. And they spot out the stacks, which they can clear out with the DP and Storm as well. So they take away that build up for the Dusa. Zhao Bonbon is there to scout. Alacrity isn't the healthiest here.
Zhao Bonbon gonna show up. Boomboy. As long as Alacrity gets out, he'll be happy. In fact, I don't think Zhao Bonbon actually has enough damage here to finish him off. Boomboy's fine. They didn't get all the stacks. They did leave the large creeps, but they still do get something out of that. And well, Roger, he's gonna have to get back to the drawing board. Start stacking up again. Get them going. But now that NGX.SEA know about it, they'll certainly look to infiltrate that triangle once again. Problem is, in the meantime, XE learn. He's popped the dragon form, and that's T1 mid tower. It's not going to last very long at this rate.
DK is still really good at melting objectives with that level 6. Tower is starting to fall a bit low. The side of NGX starting to gather a few heroes in. Alacrity is TPing back in as well.
Go, JoeCam's going to move in. There's Alacrity with the Vortex out. XE learn. He's a tanky target. It's not going to be that easy to take the Dragon Knight down, but a great shard's out going to lock him out. XE learn still surviving, but surely not for long as they finally take him out, but now a big arena. Xiao Yu's come in. They do lock down one, but the snowball is going to save by a bit of time for Boomboy to keep going. There goes In Your Dream. He'll keep going in onto the Mars, and they might just clean up. Xiao Yu goes down. Alacrity with a triple kill on the Storm as they finally found JoeCam. Can they get In Your Dream? It doesn't look like it. The PA's fine. Alacrity, he's not going to get lucky with the power rune. MKS would really like the kill, but he's lost vision. Alacrity, he might have to deny it the neutrals, but he won't. He tries to go for the fog play. Still, I mean, triple kill does come out for Alacrity. I think NGX.SEA will still be very happy with that.
Yeah, and it's still a lot to get out there for the Storm, even though he does drop at the end. They do manage to get In Your Dream active early on as well, realizing and recognizing that the PA, just with the Orb Corrosion and the Ring of Help, can actually contribute quite a fair bit. You do get lucky with a couple of very stuff like crits up top. Even managed to find that punishment on Xiao Bon Bon, or trying to get that push off. So NGX are starting to work the maps really well. And again, in comparison, your Dusa just isn't. MKS still under pressure.
Yeah, certainly is. Jokam and Mizu just not halting the aggression whatsoever as the tag team is going to be pumped. MKS, he does not have levels in Stonegate, so he's just gone. And now Roger, who tried to TP in and help out, he's going to lose his own life and even lose the bounty. No, he'll deny it off. Still will lose his own life though, and Alacrity, he'll be satisfied with that.
He's ready to go now on the Storm, triple null. Power treads flying through. Going to be just zipping around. They do lose their mid-tier 1 in the end. So the commitment is there from Exalearn to give themselves more openings on the map, start to open up the bot jungle a little bit more, and apply that pressure, even invade that triangle that NGX were doing as well. And I think that's something NGX has to be a bit cautious about. Your PA still needs time to farm, and yeah, be cautious about how far you go out.
Got the Tusk. Very nice setup there from Exalearn. They'll get the mid-tier 1 tower and they'll just even secure a kill onto the Tusk while they can. NGX.SEA, they don't have the answers to try and fight back in that mid lane at the moment. You saw how tanky Exalearn was that last big team fight in the mid lane as well. Like, while he does end up going down, it's still a very kind of risky play to try and make the jump in on him. He just lasts forever, this hero. And even with the death, Exalearn and MKS, they're still the top of the net worth fortune, which is rather impressive considering how the laning stage has gone.
They've been able to work out their lanes a lot more. I think NGX has been forced to be much more active in this game, so they're not farming as much. They're not able to get that free farm that you'd want to on In Your Dream. It's still a PA, farms a bit slower. They will jump though.
Yeah, nice break from Roger. Just in position to break the smoke, but they are going to have to leave the Ancients alone, and Boom Boy, he'll even pop the Exorcism just to be able to take this bonus gold away from MKS, and I can't quite blame him for doing this. You've just got to try and slow down this Medusa as much as you possibly can, because they know later on in the game, it's not going to be that easy to deal with him. In Your Dream, he's still farming nicely, but the matchup just does not suit.
Definitely not. Not until that Battle Fury's up on her PA, which is still, again, quite a ways off, still 2 items away. So lots of time there where the Deuce just feels a lot better. Xiao Bon Bon a bit forward here.
He is terrorized, not going to land. Xiao Bon Bon trying to get a little bit cheeky there. We'll go for the TP out, Mizu. Again with that Tumbler's Toy, he's trying to abuse the movement. Just a millisecond off connecting though. Very unfortunate there for Mizu.
Does bail out in the nick of time. It's not like Xiao Bon Bon managed to get the biggest things there. He does manage to block at least the Ancient Camp, so build-up is going to be a little bit slower here for the side of NGX. It doesn't feel like they've really been focused in on building too many stacks, though. I think they understand that the PA is probably just going to want to clear these camps out even before Battle Fury, so you just want to keep that constantly up anyway, and just allow the PA to get that farm. Side of RSG right now, starting to hit critical mass, though, Mike. Waiting for just their initiation items, maybe some quick BKBs here as we're seeing Exalearn and Xiao Yu go for that spell immunity. And once that's up, that will take the bite away from her Storm. Alacrity just won't be able to pierce through the DK. All of his damage really is focused on natural. And physically, the Storm, the DK is just too tanky. With a blink up, Exalearn is ready to go. And they are smoked up along with Xiao Bon Bon, so perhaps they find something big if they get a good flank here.
It looks like they're just going to go... Oh, hold on a minute. Mid lane, Mizu. This crown is going to connect very nicely. Xiao Bon Bon with the brambles and the Bedlam gets it done, but now the Tusk chance. Not going to lock anyone down. They do get away with the Mizu kill, and in the meantime, MKS will just slowly chip away at the bottom tier 1 tower. No problems whatsoever for him. NGX.SEA still staying grouped up at the top lane. Want to try and trade tier 1s, of course, but it's not going to be so easy against the Mars. Xiao Yu will just try and hold his ground and protect that tier 1. And as long as they can find the bottom tier 1, you could probably rotate and force the fight here against NGX.SEA, which is exactly what they're setting up for right now. They've got the arena up.
Bottom tower has fallen.
You could just TP more bodies up and protect the tier 1 indefinitely. NGX, they'll have to do it the hard way. They'll jump in onto Xiao Yu. Disruption will be there, and now a great terrorize out from the Willow. Mizu, he'll still roll in, but a nice arena out, catching so many of them. And in your dream, he's just going to drop. Boom Boy's gone to boot. They are not going to get this top tier 1 tower. In fact, they may not even get out alive. Though Alacrity, he'll zip in. He's a bit late to the party, but he can still find something for his team as they'll keep going. Roger in the backside's gone. Xiao Yu now needs to run. More TP's coming. MKS, he needs to join his team to try and win this team fight. They'll move in again with the Stone Gaze out, but Xiao Yu still dropping. Does go, but they'll at least find Alacrity. Not the worst. It's JoeCam. He'll go for a run along with Mizu. XE Learn still going for a bit of a chase. Might find Mizu with the Dragon Tail and does. Mizu, he'll have a swash away, but it won't be enough. XE Learn. He's got the blink up still. Boom Boy and JoeCam gonna move back in onto MKS within your dream. The team fight that just never ends. They'll take down MKS. It's Dragon Knight versus the world. JoeCam, he will drop. XE Learn, he takes down in your dream. Boom Boy, he's in trouble again. He's gonna go down to boot. Oh my goodness, RSG. They just go forever, John. This Dragon Knight, he's too tanky. You can't make the jump like that.
No, he certainly can't, and I'm surprised In Your Dream decided to show up. It is a good kill on the Dusa, but you can't do much about Excellent. You really need a Storm for that output, and Alacrity didn't show back up top. He didn't have a TP on hand to help out with that second life, so...
This level.
Your PA's just held back behind severely now. You still need that Battle Fury up here, Mike. Off the back of that fight, yeah, level 14 for Excellent. Just, yeah, he was alive for all of it, Mike. There were a lot of kills coming out, so the DK just snowballs hard.
I mean, level 10 Storm against level 14 DK. It's kind of ridiculous, and... Oh, he's got the shards coming out now, John, I believe. Should be on the courier. There it is. Now the infinite push from XE Learn is available, and... I mean, the faster you get that level 3 Elder Dragon, the better. As they do go onto the Tusk, but JoeCam, he's going to be alright. Already queuing up the Aghanim Scepter on the Tusk after the blink. It's exactly what he needs. Alacrity, going to get stunned up. Doesn't react fast enough. He still has plenty of mana though, but there is Roger just waiting in the tree line. But no, Vortex is there from Alacrity. Just kind of predicting Roger would be in that tree line, and he was correct in thinking so. RSG unable to secure the Storm kill, but still very happy with the way this game one's going.
That secures him a lot of space. That's, you're aware of the Storm, where he's at. He's not able to get jumps in. He's just trying to get that build up right now. They are giving space out to In Your Dream here as well, though, on NGX's end. Battle Fury again, pretty much done at this point. So the farm acceleration is there for the PA, but you are really lagging behind MKS. And just the matchup, just the clearing of the Deuce is so much faster until that Battle Fury equalizes. And now, you're still not in the clear even with the Battle Fury done. You're still going to have to stall out for like 5-10 minutes for the PA to start building item parity and maybe even lead if things go well.
JoeCam, gonna make a move in. There'll be the Shadow Realm is there. Mizu, he's gonna be alright. He'll just roll his way out, but Arena is gonna come down. They've got the DP at the least. Boom Boy is gonna drop as they'll look for more now. JoeCam, still being chased by this creep wave, is gonna be able to blink away. He should be alright to make his way back towards the base. To show you how badly things are going right now for NGX.SEA, John, in your dream, he's just picked up the Battle Fury. Not the greatest timing we've ever seen. 17 minutes in.
He took a lot of risks joining his team in these fights and did get punished for it a couple of times. So it really delayed that. He otherwise had a really good start in lane. He was kind of finding farm really well. But just the death slowing him down does put a dent on NGX's progression, and RSG in a really good spot now, applying pressure onto that top tier 1. They've got the Manta up and the Dragonlance up on MKS. Very solid time for that Medusa, and still a lot more room to grow. Like, you will have an issue dealing with PA's durability, but we've seen the magic damage is more than enough at this point to handle In Your Dream, and he's not going to be safe until he gets his own BKB up, which is something he could rush into. I don't think he needs too much damage here on In Your Dream.
Yeah, he got baited mid lane. No saving him now. Mizu. Oh, maybe you can. He'll go for the Rolling Thunder. And the TP out. And the silence from Boomboy proving to be enough. They could not get the follow-up stuns off onto the Pango. So Boomboy saves the day.
Saves the day. Is forced to use the Rolling Thunder, but not the longest cooldown in the world. That will open up Russia. They know the big team fight spell's gone here in terms of the AoE control, and RSG has all the room in the world to just get the slow, steady Roshan going their way.
Yeah, it is going to be a very slow process, but like you said, John, without the Rolling Thunder, you really can't contest this. They do scan it out, but they already know they can't get there in time, and again, even if they could, I just don't think they would take the fight. At least it has bought time for Alacrity to have his BKB up, but it also allows Xiaoyu to have his own BKB up. They are going to make the move up towards the north. They might find Mizu on the Pango. Xiaoyu will show himself at the top lane, and that might be enough for Mizu to understand that he needs to back out of here. XE still waiting. He's been very good at just being very patient and waiting for someone to rock up. Mizu, is he going to make the move down? He will. Xiaoyu going to see it. XE will spot it out as well, but they've lost the Mars now. They will not be willing to make the jump in on the Pango. He has Rolling Thunder anyway, I guess, so chances are he could just pop it and run.
They still set themselves up well. They've been stalling out this top tier 1 push on RSG's end, not giving that opening for NGX to just try to take control of that top jungle in exchange for their bot. And RSG is just farming across both sides of the river. They're split up as a team, but there's no punishment from NGX. The build-up is still coming through for In Your Dream, is going for that BKB rush. Might show up for a bit of a fight here, but the side of RSG doesn't want to tempt fate. So they'll just go back to him. Or also just protecting their mid-tier 1 excellently. Like, you've got this DP on NGX's side, you want to use the EXO in a big team fight to an objective. They haven't been able to take that big tower down mid. So map progression's been slow for NGX, and RSG is just doing so much more with this map right now, with how much they have, with playing across the river, playing on both jungles, allowing that build-up.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Yes, he's farming way too quickly here. I mean, I have Skadi almost up, and that's when things get very scary for In Your Dream. Sure, it's nothing like an MKB, but even with the Skadi up, just that slow can be very annoying for the PA, who again is not ready in any way to be able to try and fight this Medusa yet. Mid lane, Alacrity, actually getting caught out by this Yule Scepter, is going to be forced to BKB up. An unfortunate circumstance here for Alacrity is the mid-tier 2 tower is going to drop to RSG, and there's just no defense. They just can't afford to defend right now.
It's again just maybe down to how they're playing as a team right now. NGX were forcing a lot of 5-man fights. They were trying to find angles. It just felt like there was some target prioritization that was thrown off. Some decisions to come in that weren't ideal. Whereas when RSG's moving as a unit, it's much cleaner. These guys have played together for a long time. So has NGX, but they've also had Raji for a while in comparison to Xiao Bon here with NGX. So maybe it just falls back to that. The team chemistry hasn't solidified itself. There could be comms issues coming through as well with Boomboy. So not able to coordinate as much as they used to.
Yep, rain it down. Boomboy does get caught in Joe Cam. He does not have Snowball up. It's on cooldown. He's sticking around, but it's too late. He's going to go die himself now. He will go right into the disruption of Roger. That's going to be another kill to go the way of RSG. And hell, John, they might think about chipping at the T3 tower. I'm not sure if they really want to bother yet, but they certainly could. And they will.
They see In Your Dream up top.
Well, they want the kill. Terrorize not going to land. In Your Dream going to back his way out. In the meantime, Alacrity does end up killing off Roger as they miss out on the PA kill. And In Your Dream, just showing up at the top side of the map actually allows the defense to happen, as RSG, they never make it to the high ground.
They get knocked away, getting a little bit distracted, looking for that PA. And that is some good space being made here for NGX to hold on to their objectives. BKB almost done it In Your Dream. So our PA is, in fact, almost in fighting form. Could show up and start to help deal with the Dusa. Matchup still doesn't feel great. You're still behind by 3,000, 4,000 gold. So Dusa always has that one big item advantage. Right now it's the Skadi. And as you mentioned, it just makes it so hard for the PA to try to run, try to go in and out whenever Phantom Strike is on cooldown. you are susceptible to that kite. So we'll see how much In Your Dream can really do in these fights. RSG though, invade that triangle, keep the farm game up.
Radiant's middle
Aegis,
tower
not too
is
much
under
time
attack.
left, but MKS is getting that slow siege done on the high ground.
Are scanning.
They make their way back up. Still 30 seconds of the Aegis timer available there for MKS. Enigma Galaxy, they might have to just wait for that Aegis to try and expire and maybe snipe that life from MKS. The spear is not going to land, but Jokam, he'll make the jump on Von. Or rather, Xiao Yu is there with the BKB popped. They've got at least Jokam on the Tusk controlled up, and eventually he will drop. But now the Aegis, it's going to expire in 10. They've timed it very well here in NGX.SEA. They can make a move in onto MKS. 4 seconds left. Spear is not going to land. They've got no Stone Gaze going either. Disruption, it will pop, but they've lost the Aegis. MKS, he'll pop the Stone Gaze now. He'll keep trying. Does he have what it takes? It looks like they may as the Terrorize is going to land, but no. MKS is gone. It's still a complete mess in the mid lane though. If they buy back on Alacrity, they'll zip right through. It looked like it may have worked for a second there, John, with the Stone Gaze Terrorize combination, but it proves to not be enough in the end.
No, I mean, it was a really clutch disruption from Roger. Like, he managed to get it as Aegis expired, so you actually got a little bit of a reset there for Dedusa. Otherwise, she would have just been dead right after disruption. A little bit of a heal back, getting that opportunity for the Stone Gaze, not enough. And NGX manages to punish really well. They lose their tier 3 tower, but they don't lose any of their racks. They take the enemy mid tier 1. And they get the BKB up and running now on Boomboy. So even your DP is a little bit more protected as well in these engagements. And Inner Dream's just going to be working towards that Desolator next. So he will have the output here to deal with a lot of heroes. Just has to be a bit cautious about being alone.
Yeah, Purge is there in your dream. He's going to go for the fight. He's got no other choice. Oh boy. They had such a great team fight, and now Xiao Yu gives him the tip. Massive positioning mistake from In Your Dream to be in the Radiant, rather the Dire Triangle like that. A little bit greedy without his team, and that's a big pick off there for RSG.
Yeah, I mean, after that dicey fight, In Your Dream is starting to bounce back a bit. That will put a dent in his progression towards that Desolator. And now RSG can start thinking about the next Roche. It's still a minute 20 until that respawn timer shows itself. But they're in a good position to just look for that objective. They still have their outpost top. They don't have the most aggressive wards here from RSG's end. So the info game is slightly lacking. Same thing goes for NGX. They have this forward laning ward to spot some movement out. And this ramp ward here around their bot jungle, but not much more around the Roche. So it does feel a little bit more dangerous for NGX and fighting that Roshan. Triangle, it's a bit dark. And RSG can again just plant themselves in there.
Yule's out. Brambles is not going to land. Alacrity can get the BKB off right after the Yule Scepter. He's going to be okay. There's not really an objective to play for either. Like, knowing the BKB is down on Alacrity, it's probably not going to matter because you just, there's nothing to play for right now for RSG. It's just going to mean a bit more time to farm, I think.
Just build up. You've got the Dedusa, you've got the DK. These heroes scale really nicely into that late game. So you just get the farming items up. Crystal is already done here for MKS. Could go for Silver Edge down the line. That break is one way. Deal with the PA. And I believe... No, not quite flying out yet. Still, the side of RSG again, taking over that triangle. They are under vision from NGX. So some awareness here. Roshan time we're going to be seeing now is going to be a bit of a long one, so they can't just dip into Roche. They will still find the last outer tower here from NGX, not in position to defend. So the map is shrinking inside of NGX. Their farm is getting cut off. You still need a lot more here on In Your Dream. You need a lot more for Alacrity. He desperately wants that Ags up, and we'll have it in about 400 gold. So the timing is looking good. Maybe once you have that AoE Vortex for your own teamfight control, that's when things start to look up and up here for NGX.
Perhaps. NGX still looking for a team fight almost, it seems like. At least Alacrity and Jokam wouldn't mind a pick off right now, but never mind. Alacrity just trying to farm the rest of his gold to have the full Ags up. Is going to be able to get it. Does have all the gold for it now, but it will leave him without buyback. Still with the AoE Vortex available now and the Desolator in Your Dream, suddenly you've got plenty of control and plenty of damage. So maybe it's about time for the smoke to come out from NGX.SEA.
And they even have the Ag Shard up here on Alacrity, so you are getting some additional magic damage off. great way to control up that DK. Just having the overload rave going on to everyone, especially the PA. That's something she'll enjoy with the added attack speed as well. So we'll see if RSG is going to be ready for that. The side of NGX starting to group back in their triangle, retake control, get that farm up. Roshan a minute 17, 16 away. So not too much more time. If the next fight breaks out and NGX finds a win, that should secure them a good time to try to retake Roshan and build up more on this map.
I'm still surprised they didn't smoke. I mean, I realize they're still behind in net worth, but with the power spikes they've had, I guess you could just wait for Roshan. 50 seconds away for that one. Aghanim Scepter, though, is now up on the DK, and this is where things get very scary now, because XE Learn gonna have so much more damage, free pathing, and just a bigger dragon. Speaking of, John, did you happen to see that that Eastern European game where they had the Giants ring, Black Dragon at 80 minutes in? It was massive.
Beautiful. That's the dream. That's what I always ask for when we hit 60 minutes, Mike. It never happens. Always get cursed. You know what I'd love to see as well? Something like, I think Doom with Giants Ring BKB is actually one of the tallest things in the game. It's actually terrifying. Like,
go,
it's tall compared to Smoke Out.
Yeah, XE Learn, he's jumped in. They found Joe Cam already. It's not a bad target to start on. The silence is a little bit annoying, but Joe Cam, he is going to drop his Mizu. Was unable to save. Spoon Boy is going to move in with the Exorcism, trying to take down Jarbon Bomb, but he's the one to go down as Alacrity. Is going to try and save, but he's too late to boot. Mizu, he's still going, but missing out on everything as we'll try for the BKB TP away, and they won't have the damage. But they will lose 2 on NGX.SEA. And now Roshan, more importantly, is going to be opened up for RSG. That's a big loss for the Radiant.
They could try to make a steal here, but Alacrity's a bit too low on mana. No outer towers to TP to, so getting there in time is not looking good. And you saw In Your Dream try to contribute. He's just been throwing stifling daggers. Not much else. He knows that it's tough to fight in there when their front line's already torn apart. That will lead to that Roach going the way of RSG, and even a Shard going the way of MKS. So you will have that little bounce around with a Mystic Snake. No Ags to really truly be annoying with it yet. And once that combination's up with the Ags, well, the PA just starts to feel like it doesn't really have a game. BKB only lasts so long in the middle of these fights. Stone Gaze is still a constant issue. And for NGX, all the pressure of the world is still on Alacrity. Like, it has to be the Storm in combination with Pangolier to roll up and find that opening in these fights. Try to manage the backline, take away that save from Roger. It's just, again, easier said than done. RSG's just been positioning themselves really well to protect those supports.
Jump in, XE Learn. That's a great target. Zhao Yu. Oh, he's actually going to find Joe Cam. Still they jump in. Great Vortex out. Disruption. It will save the Mars for now as Joe Cam is going to drop, and so will Alacrity. He does not get away from the Stone Gaze as Boom Boy is going to try for the BKB TP, but he won't even make it. He has buyback, but he won't have BKB available now. This is a very hard defense to come out from NGX.SEA. It seems like they are going to get megaed. You've got 80 seconds without the Storm.
Yeah, it's not much In Your Dream can really do. He could try to jump, but
Rated down, nice refresh from Zhao Yu. That's Mizu gone. He has buyback. He will commit. Is In Your Dream. He does commit to boot. Taking down 2 on the backside. In Your Dream, though. How do you get away from MKS now? He's dropping so low and he's gone. No content. I mean, RSG, man, they play so clean. These guys play so damn clean every time we see them. And that's going to be it. GG's going to be called. Surely.
I don't see a defense coming out here, Mike. The options are very limited. No buyback in PA. 40 seconds till the Storm. They take Joe Cam out. Still has his own buyback. But RSG really getting into the mental game as well. Getting the tips off. Getting the all chat off. They've been on fire. And again, a bit of a sneak peek for that Div 1.
Snowball's going to buy a bit of time there for Mizu to try and get out with his own BKB. It's not like they really care, though, John. They're just going after objectives here. MKS will move in for the Megas. I guess the game is not over until the Fat Lady sings, John, but for NGX.SEA, they'll try one more time, it seems, with Alacrity to come up. They might be Mega'd, but they can still keep this game going. They might even wait for the DP too. just to have everyone on board. But you are going to be fighting into Megas here. As MKS, he'll wait for the final right click of the range racks. Does get it. There's your Megas up. In RSG, they will happily walk away and allow NGX.SEA to just kind of torture themselves against Mega Creeps.
They can sort of clear it. You have decent wave clear and Storm, PA with a Battle Fury. Even the Overload bouncing around could help, although you don't really want to commit that for creep clearing. RSG, 25k lead, even managed to snipe that Courier with a Heaven's Halberd recipe for Mizu, so no disarms coming through. And now it's like, I don't know what you do now if you're NGX. Up against Megas, this is a tough spot. You have to find that good Vortex, you have to find that good roll, and it's been tough for Mizu. He doesn't even have a blink. So you don't really have a great way of setting yourself up for these massive rolls without that positioning tool.
Xiao Yu wanted to move in, but he didn't have the blink available. MKS though, gonna find Boom Boy. BKB pop, snowball, unnecessary. Boom Boy, he's still in trouble. They're gonna try and fight though. They're low on mana on this Medusa, but she's got the Aegis up. MKS, he'll just keep going. He has that secondary life. In the meantime, Alacrity, they're just trying to focus down everyone else as they've got Xiao Yu down. They'll try onto Roger, but a big stun out with the Curse Crown. They've locked both of them down. In Your Dream's gonna drop to boot. Buyback from Alacrity, but not from the PA. It's Mizu. He'll BKB TP out. But RSG now, they can walk right through the mid lane and just go right for the jugular. The Ancient is exposed. Hell, even Mizu, John, he bought another recipe for the Heaven's Halberd. That's how desperate they are for it.
Yeah, I mean, it's really useful against these big hitting cores, but I just don't know if it's enough. Like, I feel like if you had a blink at the least from Mizu, again, they could start finding that backline, take away Roger, but it's just not there.
They've got an old talismans, Jonathan. They've got an Aghanim Scepter Tusk now. That's all that matters. Maybe you can kick them back into the fountain. Maybe that's the idea. Roger, he'll get jumped. Ghost Shroud is there, or rather Ghost Scepter. He's going to be fine. Roger, still running. Alacrity, not connecting the Vortex. In the meantime, it does seem like MKS has lost the Aegis, but it won't matter. He's still a very, very tanky boy. As they jump in again, Boom Boy's already gone. It looks like the Tusk is set to fall to boot. MKS, he just pops the Stone Gazer, goes right after the Ancient. No GG call yet. They are still trying. In Your Dream, onto the Dragon Knight. Maybe they can get him this time. As Roger in trouble is going to drop. XE learned. He does go down. MKS, he's alone. Maybe they can do it. Can they take down the Medusa? In Your Dream, he's dropping. MKS, he will take him out. There's no buyback. They're still trying with Alacrity. MKS, he is not dying. He is not going to go down. He'll take the Ancient. Oh, boy. I mean, it was a great defense out from NGX.SEA. You've got to give them props for that. They almost make it work, but RSG, like I said, John, they're just too clean. They are way too clean.
Oh, yeah. And it's showing us just how scary our two promoted teams are. RSG look fantastic up against NGX. NGX, a bit shaky. They go back for that PA. Core matchup against Deuce is not the best. MKS just managed to find that farm. And In Your Dream took some steps to be really aggressive on that PA. He was showing up for these engagements. He wanted to help his team out. He got punished a couple of times. I think we've got to see NGX respect how well RSG take these fights. If they want to play a farming game, I think In Your Dream can easily match that pace from MKS, but you can't have him dragged into these fights where RSG just has a greater presence. Now, they had bigger team fight with Arena. They had the Terrorize combination. They had the Stone Gaze on top of that. They had great saves coming through from Roger. And NGX didn't have that same presence. Their team fights were so-and-so. You know, we had Rolling Thunder, we had AoE Vortex, but no Blink for Mizu. So he didn't have a way of really playing with that initial jump of Alacrity. And their two supports didn't really do much in terms of giving them big AoE control. Tusk, sure, Snowball can kind of be a thing. Silences were big coming out from Boom Boy. Just, again, not enough in the end here.
Certainly not, John, but they do have a second chance in game number 2 to try tie out the series here against RSG. We are going to head off to a short 10-minute break, and right after that break, we'll be back with game number 2's draft between NGX.SEA and, of course, RSG.